Hello everybody and welcome to another video. In today's video I'm going to be going over some tips and tricks for how I draw the human torso. Now remember, this is not a how-to guide to draw the human body and anatomy, but this is more of like tips and tricks that I've picked up over the years of drawing and how I approach drawing the human torso. So with that said, let's begin. First things to do when I start my process is to determine the center line. So right off the bat, I already have something that I've drawn here. I'm just going to go and explain everything first, then I'll show you how I put everything together. So it's like reverse engineering here. So, like I said, the first thing I like to do is to find the center line. And if you guys don't know what the center line is like an imaginary line that sort of kind of divides the body into two parts. So that would be somewhere around here. Right. So this is the center line. Next thing I like to think about is the clavicle area right here. Just thinking about whether it's turning like this or turning like this or whatever position the body's in at that time. But since I'm just doing a basic, front view, it's gonna be like a little bit more straight. And then I do find out the pelvis area, more like this. So the next thing I do is I create a circle. I'm just going to use this circle shape tool. Beef it up a little bit. Alright, there we go. So I have the circle now. Basically, the circle sort of kind of encompasses the chest area and the rib cage. So again, this is the part that I like about the circle method, is it's really good for drawing the rib cage. Now the next thing I do is I divide the circle up into 3 equal parts. And I'll just pick a color. Let's go with this weird looking blue. So I kind of already did that with the the clavicle area. This one. Chest is another. So yeah, something like that. Like, it doesn't have to be like perfectly 3 equal parts, but just try to get into as equal parts as you can. Now with these 3 equal parts, let me just go over what these 3 equal parts are. So this is the line that sort of kind of connects the collarbone and then top of the deltoid to each other. So it's this right here. And then the next third portion is sort of kind of where the chest kind of ends and the deltoid kind of ends. And the deltoid only ends right here if it's like the arms are down. I'll show you later what shape I use to sort of kind of do it if the arms were raised. But this is just a standard neutral position. So that's that. Now what I like to do is this. So I follow this line down to this point right here, which is normally where the groin area begins. And oh, I forgot to mention this, but try to make this circle, the distance of this circle is going to be the same from this right here. And let me show you what I mean by that. I'll just go and copy this. So here's my circle right here, and see how it sort of kind of almost, if I duplicate this and put it right here, it sort of kind of lines up there a little bit. So yeah, that's what I want to do. So that's how I measure everything out. And pretty much everything I do on the rest of my body, the head, the legs, and everything, they're going to be based off of these measurements right here. So that's why I really like this method. It's everything is more consistent throughout. So going back to this shape that I'm making right here, this little, I think it's like a, I don't know if it's like a knife shape or whatever, but it's this shape. So it kind of looks like a knife edge. But this is supposed to be mainly the abdominals, and the obliques or the love handles. And I just use like a little boomerang like shape to it. Boomerang, bean shape, or whatever you want to call it. And I still, so you see how I'm sort of kind of just bringing everything to this point right here, or I'm just constantly repeating the flow of things over and over again. All right, now that I got the obliques done, for the serratus, and I think these are the other parts of the obliques, but let's see, for this area right here, I continue the shape up and around. I constantly just loop everything back to this portion. So you see that is just a whole bunch of like circles flowing on top of each other. And I don't have to make it as precise to say, like precise as I need to, because these are just guidelines. They're not like how the anatomy is actually going to look. They're just guidelines. And now I'm going to go back up through the body at the top, and then I'm going to show you what I do for the, I think it's the neck area, the sterno mastoid. I think that's the name of it. It's sternocleidomastoid or whatever the name is, and the traps and the deltoids. So for that upper part of the upper body, I normally do several ways. So first, for the sternoclav, I just normally just create a little V shape like this, and that's it. And let's see, what color have I not used? Yeah, I don't know. I just really love drawing in different colors, because it lets me see everything differently. Like I'm able to focus on different parts. I don't know. Maybe it's just a me thing. And now for the traps and the deltoid. So I kind of already have the traps like right here. Like this is representing the traps, but I want to go over and sort of kind of reinforce that the shape a little bit more, and sort of kind of connect the traps with the deltoid, since they're closer to each other. So the shape that I like to use is like the little figure 8 motion. All right, so basically for this I follow this line here, and I start at the wrong place. So I start here and I ride this curve up and then down, and I try to go back over and reinforce this curve right here. So then I do the same thing on the other side, go up, down. And I should mention, I decide where I want to like make this curve right here based on where the clavicles are. So if the clavicles are like right here, I just go and I ride the clavicles up, over, and down, and try to make the figure 8 motion. Right. So that is my general construction lines for the chest. Now, let's see for the back. The back is more simpler because unlike the front part of the human body, the back it doesn't really have that much. Sometimes some people's backs don't have that much definition, and most of the time when you're drawing the character, you're not really looking at their back portion, so it's not too important. But the whole structures are similar with maybe one or two differences. So I still start off with a circle, and I just don't feel like using the circle tool for this one. Same thing, divide that circle up into 3 equal parts. And then on this one, instead of, again, you can duplicate the circle down and find out, and this is where your butt will probably end. Same thing as where your pelvis, or your pelvis ends. This is where your pelvis ends at the back. And on this one, I measure 1/3 distance, so just measure 1/3 right, a little bit right here. And this is where I sort of kind of wrap everything around the human body at this angle right here. So for the backs, for the lats, I still have and also should get the center line. So I just write it up, over, and down. Up, over, down for this one. So these are the lats. And then this is the traps right here. So you see how just with those 2 lines, I just sort of kind of made several landmarks for the body parts. So, and let's see how I'm going to do the traps. I did them in blue on this one, so I'll just do them on blue on this one. So yeah, this line right here, traps. Then this same thing, figure 8, where you sort of kind of, again, right against the center line, go up, down, and right the traps back up. Just write it back up. Alright, and then the obliques. So for the obliques, I did my yellow here. I'll just reverse it over here and do it in purple. So same thing, is the same boomerang shape, or boomerang bean shape, except on the back side it's a little bit shorter. And you see how I'm just like overshooting it a little bit. It's a good thing because you don't want to make your drawing too stiff or too confining at the beginning. So this is why it's really good to be a little bit looser. And then from there, I just kind of fill out the rest of the parts, like with whatever. Let's see. I just want to keep continuously wrapping around. Just in case. There you go. Alright. I'll just erase that a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Now I'm going to start from scratch. Now that I explain the process, I'm going to show you how I kind of do it in real time. So again, I'm just looking for the clavicle area. Then I'm going to get the center line. And I'm going to just do the circle. Then after that, just go ahead and mark Yeah, go ahead and mark. Where this is. The pelvis area ends. And as I promised on this figure, I'm gonna do the the deltoids and the shoulders are gonna be lifted a little bit, so you can see how I approach that issue. So how I do that is I sort of kind of just keep this going a little bit, like keep this line going a little bit more. Like it doesn't really have to be that straight because nothing on your body is that straight, so you can make it curve a little bit, and always have a reference when you do draw. Because right now I'm looking at a reference and I'm just like sort of kind of boxing in certain things. And then I'm just going to do the obliques. And then just gonna go ahead and continue this circle, fill it out a little bit. This one out. Go ahead and get the clavicle. And also, when you're doing the clavicle, make sure it's not supposed to be straight like this. Just make sure to draw it like a little curved a little bit. All right. And I'm just gonna do the arms in a different color because I love my color, and you know it keeps everything from looking the same. So, like I said, with the this part of the body that I can never pronounce, just go ahead and do that V. So now I can be ready for the figure eights, for the traps and the deltoids. So on this one, the shoulder is going to be coming in a little bit. So I got to follow this up, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And it's going to be coming in. So the figure eight is warped a little bit. And on this one, it's going to be like in a normal position. I may go ahead and draw the arms on this one, just so you can see the position he's actually doing. And we just reverse that. So that's not how I'm supposed to do it. There you go. Draw my hands first. And this is going to be in a later video when I draw arms, but I tend to like drawing the hands first when I'm drawing the arms. Alright, so, and I'm just going to go ahead and kind of connect this a little bit more. And let me zoom in a little bit. It's a little bit out. Alright, so as you can see from this jumbled mess, I pretty much have most of my things ready. Well, most of my body parts are ready to be fleshed out more. So just going to put these two things on one layer, and then just turn the opacity down. And now I like to go draw with black, because again, drawing with color makes me feel less finalized than drawing in black. Right? So with this one, I'll just go ahead and start since the arms are up here. No, I'll just go ahead and start with the body. So again, another reason why I like doing this is lets me see with like get a good grasp of when the body is contracting or when certain parts of the body is contracting and relaxing. I feel like circles do that like a lot better than other shapes. And like right now I'm just going in and correcting my guidelines. Oh yeah, and don't think I've gone over the abs or how I draw the abs. Uh, Sometimes I don't. When I do the abs, I sort of kind of start down, then just wrap them around to each other. Start down, wrap around. I just do this shape very loosely. And that would just be my abs. Mm-hmm. You see how I'm just going over and sort of kind of just like making the lines more straight. And you see how everything else I've done was just it was loose for a reason. It was just to give me enough information about what's going on with the body so I can just come back later and sort of kind of finalize everything. The head is up here. I'm just gonna just go ahead and do the head like so. And there you go. And that's how I approach drawing the human body for this one. Okay, now I'm drawing the human torso as you're looking up at it. And I think later I'm going to draw the human torso looking down on it. And an important thing to remember about my method is that this is my method to drawing the human anatomy. This is not like a replacement, because I think some of these things aren't actually how the muscle structure looks, but this is how I actually break things down. So this is completely out of my head and works what works for me personally. And I hope that, it works for someone else out there. So maybe if someone else out there is having issues with, drawing the torso, human anatomy, maybe this will be like maybe this will help out a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.